The next WolfQuest game update, version 2.0.1, featuring Saga modes for multiplayer, much improved grass, and a whole lot more. It's now in public beta on Steam. The main new feature is Saga multiplayer. As we showed in the dev blog in late March, we have two new modes for Saga multiplayer. The first one we're calling Saga Year. This is an expansion of the story mode, and it lasts through the full year now, from establishing a territory through to the end of young hunters in the following winter. Like in story mode, you can have up to 5 players all acting as members of a family pack. When playing in this mode, the game ends upon completion of the Young Hunter's quest before the next litter of pups is born, because things just get pretty complicated with the pups of the year aging up to yearlings, the yearlings to subordinates, especially with players coming and going, as often happens in public multiplayer games. So the other option is the full saga with 2 players. This is, as much as we can make it, just like single player, except you can play with a friend all the way through until you're elder wolves and one of you dies. This mode has some restrictions: 2 players only in a private game, using the same wolf throughout the entire game. We intend this mode to be for friends who have the time and commitment to devote many hours playing through to the end. And as in single player, it generates a family tree with each year's litter of pups. You can't do pack succession or switch to play as a dispersing pup, but you can go to the family tree and start a new game with one of your grown pups, and then have your friend join you for another generation. And you can get unlockable coats from your pups. We know that some people would like to have more players in the full saga mode, but WolfQuest is a pretty unusual game with the way the player's wolf pack grows and changes from year to year, spending part of each year at the home site, where the pack can split into subgroups, and part of the year nomadic, when the whole pack sticks together. I don't know any other kind of game with these kinds of dynamics over the course of a full game arc. In single player, managing all this is complicated enough, but at least there's one player who is the center of the universe. Everything revolves around them. Adding just one more player means there's now 2 centers of the universe for the game to track and manage through all these goings-on. And that's been a big challenge, but at least we have the premise that they are both the pack leaders, and they'll head up the pack for the entire game. Adding subordinate players who don't have that kind of leadership role and responsibility, yet still need to be in some ways the center of the universe, it would just get insanely difficult. Not just the game design and the coding, but then making it clear to each player what's going on, who's doing what's allowed and what's not allowed at any given point in the game year. So yeah, we're limiting the full saga mode to 2 players. But there is a lot more in this update too. It's the new grass rendering system, some new grasses and new wildflower. So here in game settings, we've renamed this option down here in the lower left to grasses and plants, and renamed the settings to be more reflective of what they are. There's minimal, which is just a couple kinds of grasses, just to have something on the ground. There's basic, which has most of the grasses and some of the flowers and bushes, but it's a simpler method of rendering, and so it doesn't have the density, or if you try to get the higher density, it's going to perform worse. And then the 2 higher qualities, enhanced and maximum, use these new techniques to have blanket grass that can cover more areas without the extra spawning cost when you run around. And these 2 also have the interactive grass, so as you move through the grass and the plants, they react to your wolf's body. And some of the nice new features: you can enable classic coats on your pups and NPC wolves. When your iron wolf or elder wolf dies, you can choose to pick the heir later on. You don't have to pick it right at that moment. And yeah, tons of bug fixes. It's packed with improvements. So it's in public beta now for Mac and Windows computers on Steam. See the text below on how to opt into that. We'll have it in public beta for a couple weeks, work out the bugs before the full release. So if you're interested, check it out.